As the nation celebrates a new chapter under King Charles, a shadow looms unexpectedly over the royal horizon, a whisper now gaining volume, questioning how long this chapter might last. In a twist of fate, an urgent missive from the royal doctors arrives, unveiling a grim prognosis that threatens to turn the monarchy on its head. Before we go deeper into what this really means for the royal family, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single update. King Charles ascended to the throne with a solemn grace, marked by jubilation in the streets, reflective of a nation eager for new beginnings. Yet the initial fervour soon mingled with an unspoken tension, an unease slowly twisting like ivy around the foundation of Buckingham Palace. Within days of his reign, an enigmatic document began circulating among the palace's inner circle, its contents shrouded in mystery, yet dripping with implications that refused to be silenced. What was simply rumoured grew into a clandestine concern, sparking whispers and worry as the hierarchy scrambled to shield the news from spilling beyond ornate doors. Inside these hallowed walls, disbelief and a burgeoning dread settled over royal advisors like a winter fog, heavy and almost tangible. The majesty of their surroundings couldn't suppress the growing fear, as reality threatened to unravel their carefully woven tapestry of tradition and duty. Conversations turned hushed, echoes of late-night calls punctuated by the foreboding contents of a simple piece of parchment. The royal staff, faces now etched with concern, recounted unsettlingly intimate interviews, sharing tales of secretive gatherings and quiet consultations, a growing tapestry of distress woven behind curtains of gilded splendor. And what of King Charles himself? With the gravity of destiny upon his shoulders, his reaction was a portrait of unexpected vulnerability. Ambushed by the dire pronouncement, he stood at a crossroad, unsure, unsteady, caught in a quandary that felt both intimate and universally symbolic. To the public, he remained a figure of serene royal duty, but behind palace doors, the reality was far more precarious. His resolve was tested by the chilling reminder of the monarchy's historical susceptibility, labyrinthine narratives of forebears who faced their own crises, casting an ominous shadow upon his legacy. As Charles looked towards this unforeseen battle, a resonant truth emerged: the throne, while timeless, is never immune. This elderly institution, seemingly steadfast, faced the very human frailty that lay beneath its regal surface. A stark reminder echoed in the royal consciousness. Power may rest with crowns and scepters, but fate held the ultimate authority, with its unyielding grasp on even the mightiest of dynasties. The nation watched, breath held, as its monarch deciphered the pathways of history, duty, and the unknown, each step potentially a harbinger of change. As whispers of a precarious royal health echo through the grand halls, an unprecedented realization takes shape: the monarchy teeters on the brink of an uncertain future. Behind the regal smiles and official duties, King Charles has harbored a clandestine repository of reflections, a diary. That holds the key to understanding his deepest fears and passions. But with each hidden page, a new secret unfolds, potentially reshaping the public's perception of their king and the dynasty's current predicament. Within the imposing walls of the palace, tucked away from the prying eyes of courtiers and advisors, lies a book that bears witness to the untold saga of King Charles. A diary, unassuming in its leather-bound form, yet pulsing with the weight of years. It was begun in his youth. It accompanies him through the labyrinth of his heart as he navigated from uncertain heir to resolute sovereign. Each page chronicled a journey that saw a young prince, full of dreams, become a monarch burdened by history. The ink of those youthful years ebbs and flows with enthusiasm and trepidation, revealing an individual entangled with the duties and destinies imposed upon him. From the first faltering lines written in the shadow of his predecessors to the more assertive strokes of maturity, these private reflections are a mirror to his soul. Flipping through this theatrical relic unveils not just the triumphs but the shadows lurking in his reign, those demons that come to roost in the silent strength of quiet solitude. Scattered entries shed light on his personal health battles, hinting at fragile commitments that hungered for resilience. Uncertain whispers of mortality are scribbled with urgency, each letter etching the king's confrontation with destiny on an eternal chronicle that neither fame nor fortune could deflect. Amidst this tapestry of human frailty and insurmountable duties stands a cryptic note, a date circled, yet to arrive. A forewarning or a foreseeable end? The mystery deepens, and it becomes clear that this document could be both prophecy and confession. Mysteries hidden within these pages reach deeper into the fibers of his reign, offering raw glimpses into his relationship with those he cherished and ruled. As a monarch, the struggle to balance personal bonds with the unwavering demands of the crown bled into his writings. Passages reflect a heart at war, love interwoven with leadership, a delicate dance between family expectations and national obligations. These confessions reveal not just a king to his people, but a man caught in a web of royal intrigue, leading a nation even when his internal compass quivered. In lovingly daring prose, he exposes wounds born of expectation, pain masked by public composure. Underlying the gravity of this treasure lies the looming spectre of betrayal, should these pages fall into the wrong hands. The whispers of discontent, hushed yet potent, bear testament to tensions that seldom breach the veneer of royal unity. Indiscretions whispered between lines and secrets tucked within the margins threaten to cast shadows that loom beyond palace windows. A revelation of such magnitude carries promises of sweeping repercussions. The thin curtain separating esteem and scandal could be torn asunder, revealing a monarchy in crisis. As the secrets of a monarch finally come to light, the enshrouded veil of royal mystery starts to unravel, leading to a revelation that could impact not just a man, but the entire Commonwealth. Amidst whispers of King Charles's unsettling prognosis, the question of succession looms larger than ever. Prince William, the expected heir, now faces unprecedented pressure to prepare for destiny sooner than anyone anticipated. The pressures of lineage bear down heavily upon him, deeper than the weight of any crown, for within these stone halls, where ancient legacies lie in every crevice, the echoing whispers are no longer of a distant future, but a galloping inevitability. As the spotlight flares, its beam transforms from a mere spotlight into an exposing glare, no shadow left for uncertainty, every vulnerability laid bare. His heart races, for this mantle, long visible on the horizon, now approaches like a relentless storm. The silken threads of responsibility entwine with his sense of self, tightening with each second, threatening to ensnare him in its age-old duties. Late into the night, behind locked doors and away from prying eyes, candid conversations unravel between father and son. King Charles's voice, tinged with both authority and a surprising fragility, guides and cautions, laying before William not only the path of duty, but the perils of the crown, a path trotted by forebears, yet uniquely treacherous. To a bystander, King Charles's words might seem soaked with regret, hints of unspoken fears etched in every pause, a monarch preparing for legacy amidst the closing chapters of his own reign. William listens, heart resonating with a turbulent symphony of emotions, each beat underscoring the secrets exchanged in an air thick with history and hesitation. It is a discourse of dreams deferred and destinies accepted, as the torch of succession, uncertain and vulnerable, dances impatiently between them. The world beyond palace gates waits impatiently, amplifying the complexity as William stands under the weight of 1,000 judgments. The press, with its insatiable hunger, circles closer, poised to pounce on any sign of weakness. Public expectation forms an invisible throng at his heels, urging him forward in a march of inevitable scrutiny. Every misstep, no matter how minor, reverberates through the silken threads of the royal tapestry, weaving a narrative not just of personal challenge, but of the symbolic weight he carries for a nation, a legacy. It is a gauntlet of expectation, anticipating a display of stoic perfection, an unequivocal fulfillment of promise, leaving limited room for private doubts or personal evolution. Kate Middleton stands by William's side, a steadfast presence, both nurturing support and a silent witness to the relentless tide. Endearing and fierce, she holds William's hand firm in hers, whispering strength when courage falters. Yet her own eyes are shadowed by the daunting scope of what lies ahead. Her role is a balancing act, reflecting warmth despite the storms, embodying grace under burgeoning pressure. The quiet tremor in their shared glances speaks of too many sleepless nights filled with whispered hopes and unknown fears. Yet Kate's unwavering resolve burns bright, a beacon amidst gathering shadows, a silent pledge that their fight is shared. Meanwhile, the inner court becomes an arena of subtle machinations. Whispers weave through corridors as other royals, long poised at the fringes, suddenly vie for newfound favor, each maneuver casting intricate, unseen games of influence upon the chessboard of power. These are unspoken duels, shrouded in tradition, just as capable of altering destinies as any formal declaration. Each interaction adds to the charged atmosphere within the walls, where every smile, every omission hints at desertion or allegiance, causing ripples unseen but distinctly felt. The stakes are arrestingly high, the reputation and legacy of the royal family teetering precariously on the precipice of tomorrow. The discussions are candid, and truths once unspoken now emerge in intermittent bursts of clarity, their resonance echoing through realms of public and private scrutiny alike. Each decision carries the weight not only of history, but the vast potential futures canvassed by a waiting world. In this cauldron of destiny and duty, Prince William stands poised amidst the eye of a storm, aware that each choice, each uttered vow, reverberates within the narrative tapestry that shall define this monarchy's continuation or its reformation. Whilst internal conflicts mount within the royal family, the very nature of monarchical power is interrogated, pushing the institution towards a crossroads it can neither ignore nor avoid. Across the UK and perhaps beyond, the news of a shaky royal future has become a topic of public intrigue and controversy. From magnificent commemorations to urgent debates, the people's voice echoes loud and clear, testing the royal family's capacity to inspire unity and trust amidst a rapidly shifting societal terrain. Glimmers of anticipation and uncertainty ripple through bustling city streets and quiet country lanes alike, as citizens grapple with an institution deeply rooted in their nation's history. In the vibrant markets, beneath clock towers, and in the warm glow of pubs, the conversation tilts between devout loyalty and growing skepticism. Historically steadfast hearts are torn by a monarchy struggling to maintain its place in an ever-evolving landscape. A monarchy that must now justify its existence to a generation unafraid to ask why and why not. Yet, amidst this cacophony, enduring voices rise in support staunch defenders of tradition and continuity, who argue for the solace of the known amidst the chaos of the new. They gather at gardens of red poppies and on golden castle grounds, rallying under the iconic banners that have long been symbols of their steadfast convictions. They sing praises born from time-honoured oaths and family tales, painting portraits of royal benevolence that refuse to tarnish even under the harsh light of modern critique. But as they forge these defiant testimonies, skeptical eyes are watching, breathing life into a media narrative hungry for discord and debate. In newsrooms across the globe, the monarchy's every move is dissected, a relentless pursuit that sets headlines ablaze and thrusts the royal family into an unyielding spotlight. Every glimpse, every gesture, every word becomes fodder for a media landscape teeming with speculations and judgments. The palace, with its centuries-old wisdom, weaves its strategies with calculated precision, playing the delicate game of influence and perception, a game as old as the crown itself, but burdened now by the instant, unyielding gaze of millions around the world. This unfolding drama does not merely affect the British Isles. Its reverberations echo throughout the Commonwealth, stirring dialogues that question the monarchy's role in today's diverse and interconnected world. The implications for British cultural identity are profound, bringing to the fore an introspection about what it means to be both a nation proud of its traditions and a nation eager to embrace the future. Royal historians, with their learned perspectives, stand at a critical juncture poised to interpret and document an era that future generations will scrutinize. They weigh the significance of this moment with scholarly precision, framing narratives that will define not a history lesson, but a legacy. Meanwhile, within the hallowed halls of Parliament, whispers grow into discussions, and discussions into debates, questions lingering on the very principles of monarchy and democracy. The future is uncertain, yet one truth remains evident. The dialogue, once sporadic and hushed, now carries the momentum of evolution, demanding answers that will shape the course of history. For the people, this transformation is not just political, it is deeply personal. In the squares and streets, their heartbeats sync with the pulse of unfolding events. Emotional rallies echo the fervor of a nation, peeling back layers of heritage and identity, revealing personal stories that are as compelling as the monarchy itself. From the elder who has seen a dozen monarchs rise and fall, to the youth who views the world through a lens of change, each narrative offers a window into the soul of a country at a crossroads. As national sentiment swells with fervor, the narrative shifts towards an inner circle maneuvering to steady the royal ship against the tumultuous seas ahead. Behind closed doors, the whispers of the court crescendo into a dreadful symphony as King Charles's health becomes the subject of muffled conversations. A clandestine diagnosis unfolds, veiled by the thick tapestries of the royal chambers. Stripped bare of his crown and cloak, Charles is a mere man facing the abyss. Swirling amidst disbelief and skepticism, the king grapples with the looming shadow of uncertainty. The very air he breathes seems denser, laden with the unspoken dread of mortality. The diagnosis harrowing, inexorable, becomes a spectre haunting the palace's resplendent halls. It looms behind every mirror and within every silent pause, a dark echo that threatens his regal composure. In the hidden sanctity of the royal clinic, a small, elite circle of physicians wrestles with their own sworn secrecy. The weight of confidentiality bears down upon them, each word spoken a fragile thread tethering truth to counsel. Muffled gossip and rampant speculation buzz beyond the palace gates, a storm of curiosity pounding like the tide against royal defences. Yet within these walls, each medical expert serves as both confidant and guardian to the king's plight, tasked with the Herculean role of navigating public thirst for knowledge without relinquishing the dignity of discretion. As days turn to nights and back again, King Charles remains in the public eye an icon of strength gilded by his responsibilities. His stride, though steady, conceals the burgeoning constraints that now coat his limbs like invisible chains. Every public appearance is a test of poise, each smile concealing the crumbling walls of his strength. Even as his body begins to rebel, the king's dedication to his duties becomes his battleground, each decree a silent testament to resolve, each gesture a proclamation of resilience. His efforts go unnoticed by those outside the palace, who see only the crown still seated firmly atop his head, unaware of the truancy his own body seems to rebel against. In the solitude of his chambers, the family gathers like a drawn breath. The room vibrates with unspoken emotions, an orchestra of fear, hope, and deep-seated love. Powerlessness courses through their veins, a stark reminder that some battles are waged not in courts or politics, but within the fragile vessel of flesh and bone. Each one, from child to confidant, bears witness to his trials, a shared burden, painted on each downcast gaze and clenched jaw. In moments stolen from time, Charles's presence beyond his regal title emerges an introspective narrative unfolding within the vaulted confines of his mind. With quiet contemplation, the king reflects. These are not the soliloquies of an untouchable sovereign, but the musings of a man starkly aware of his own humanity. He is a king, yes, but more profoundly, he is a father, a husband, a singular soul on the precipice of transformation. In clandestine discussions with his medical advisors, the balm of emerging technologies and strategies is weighed a bid for dignity in the twilight of illness. Every option is considered with the silent pledge that the king shall remain, in every sense possible, the figurehead of fortitude. As the curtains lift on what can no longer remain hidden, the royal family readies for an era-defining moment where the stakes have never been higher. In the secluded spaces of royal life away from public eyes, family dynamics shift and stretch under immense strain. As each member grapples with the looming shadow of loss, alliances begin to falter, and secret hardships threaten to topple this iconic dynasty from within. Witness the raw, passionate and turbulent reality of royalty. Behind the ornate, gilded facades, the royal family convenes, yet these gatherings are now laden with unspoken heartbreak that hovers like a persistent fog. Once a realm of tradition-filled laughter and ceremonial elegance, these meetings are now tense and brittle. The family sits together, yet invisible walls rise between them, cobbled from whispered doubts and the weight of tradition clashing against the yearning for personal freedom. Prince Harry and Meghan's estrangement casts a long shadow across the palace halls, a reminder that the familial bond is now fraying. The backdrop of crisis only amplifies their absence, a poignant silence that both shouts and whispers. Their retreat has become a symbol of rebellion, a poignant statement against the unwavering demands of royal duty that have cemented their paths in history. Here lies a complex web of emotions where loyalty battles with the heart's call for autonomy, a testament to the eternal conflict between the intimate world of family and the public stage. The corridors echo with emotional exchanges and sibling conflicts, pitting staunch tradition against the demand for modernization. Eyes that once shared secret glances across polished tables now avoid each other, as if meeting them would confirm the fears that simmer beneath their cordial exteriors. Words, heavy with decades of unsaid truths, occasionally spill over, sparking fires of disagreement that burn more intensely with each encounter. An air of relentless expectation clings to these walls, leaving deep imprints on the hearts of the young royals, who must juggle the heavy crowns of their past with the unyielding desire for a new dawn. Candid reflections from insiders reveal the formidable burden of maintaining royal propriety under such turbulent conditions. The weight of centuries presses down on every action and utterance, demanding unwavering loyalty to a legacy that permeates every moment of their lives. Those tasked with safeguarding this majestic lineage feel the strain as history and modernity collide, a collision that threatens to unravel the very fabric of royal mystique. Each insider admits that the crown, though glittering, carries invisible shackles that tighten with the shifting sands of time. Queen Camilla's role, though supportive, comes with its own set of challenges as tensions crystallize around her. Armed with patience and resilience, she attempts to bridge the widening chasms, even as tremors of dissent ripple through the family fabric. Her influence is steady yet tested, as she gently steers the dynasty amid the storm, her presence a calming counterpoint to the impassioned turmoil that roils beneath the surface. Her position as both matriarch and peacekeeper underlines the complexity of holding a family with such diversified views together. Through it all, the loud silence from absent family members amplifies the tension, adding layers of drama to an already precarious situation. The unoccupied chairs at family tables are reminders of reluctance and decisions yet to be resolved. Their voids scream louder than any resounding voice, questions left unanswered, as the royal saga unfolds under scrutiny more intense than ever before. The persistent absence forms an aching silent chorus that underscores every banquet, every strategy session, and ultimately every decision. As familial ties undergo a testing transformation, the spotlight shifts to an unprecedented future that insists on radical adaptation for survival. With the monarchy in suspense, the push for decisive action intensifies. The royal family wrestles with urgent strategies, each decision fraught with potential upheaval that could redefine the essence of leadership. This tactical dance carries everything on the line, poised between tradition, genuine renewal, and the relentless march of time. Within the hallowed halls of the palace, the air grows dense with unresolved tension, echoing ancient echoes of past decisions that shaped the very bedrock of their rule. Now, gathered are the trusted few, the silver-tongued advisors whose words carry the weight of kingdoms, their faces etched with the burden of history and the looming uncertainty of the future. The discussions, whispered beneath the towering shadows of gilded portraits, transform the once invincible walls into a theatre of possibilities. High-stakes talks break forth, with each proposition measured not just against the ledger of power but against the heartbeat of a nation overdue for change. Talks oscillate around the spectral notion of abdication, a concept both liberating and terrifying in equal measure. As their voices rise and fall with the dirge of a somber symphony, the potential for radical restructuring of royal duties emerges uncharted territory that tests the elasticity of royal service, beckoning them to bend without breaking. Amidst this cerebral storm, a second battle rages, one fought not with the swords of age, but with the perception of an ever-evolving public. The monarchy, inextricably linked to the thrum of its people's approval, ponders its place within the ceaseless tide of time. Crisis management unfolds. Their strategies must be deft, their affirmations timely, each delicate weave designed to secure contemporary relevance. Assertions must be made not merely through tradition's echo or the relics of a glorious past, but by embracing the swift current of modernity, lest they drown beneath its swell. In this charged crucible, Prince Charles stands at a crossroads, his mind a battlefield caught between loyalty to tradition and the undeniable need for renewal. In quiet contemplation, he grapples with a vision or perhaps a revolution that would reshape the monarchy's face to better align with the shifting paradigms of an uncertain future. Conversations turn to compelling scenarios, where a daring recalibration could elevate Prince William's future role, infusing it with newfound purpose, altering the line of succession, and enthroning a new kind of regency, one marked by vigour and the optics of progress. The narrative teeters on the precipice of a climactic decision, one not lightly made but born of sleepless nights and the ghosts of those who came before. Beneath the palace's age-worn ceilings, the stakes climb to impossible heights, pressing upon them the urgent reality that their choices today will echo through ages. The future trembles, balanced on a knife's edge, as they prepare to cross the threshold into what could be either ruin or renaissance, poised to unveil a declaration that looms on the horizon, ready to stamp its indelible mark on the pages of history. As the tension culminates, the world awaits a dramatic proclamation that stands to seal the fate of the royal legacy forever. Choices pulse like a drumbeat through the heart of the kingdom as we find ourselves at the cusp of a historic revelation. King Charles stands alone, cloaked in the weight of his crown, the burden of tradition, and the expectations that have shadowed his reign. In this final chapter, the air crackles with anticipation, every moment leading inexorably to the brink of monumental change. The king, a figure both revered and scrutinized, now grapples with an introspective gravity that cannot be ignored. The path he chooses will redefine the realm's future. But first, he must confront the truth with unflinching honesty and an unwavering commitment to his people. As whispers of scandal and speculation ripple through the corridors, King Charles steps forward, his voice steady yet infused with a vulnerable sincerity that pierces through the murmurs of doubt. Before an eager nation, he addresses the swirling rumors that have threatened to destabilize the monarchy's very foundation. The air grows taut with expectation as he declares not an abdication, but instead a pledge to pursue truth and transparency above all else. His speech, a tapestry woven with courage and resolve, stuns the gathered throngs into a silence that soon transforms into a symphony of unity and understanding, setting a precedent for honesty unseen in the annals of royal history. The kingdom, once a tapestry of whispering shadows, now vibrates with a sense of newfound purpose and cohesion. People, young and old, are united in this unprecedented moment, from city streets to countryside hamlets, emboldened by a monarch's pledge to illuminate the shadows. Trust, fragile yet resilient, weaves through the fabric of society, transforming skepticism into solidarity, a legacy few could have foreseen. Behind palace walls, away from public eyes, the royal family gathers, each heart beating with unspoken promises. In this private sanctuary, vows are exchanged, words of legacy, hope, and continuity that reach beyond the temporal to touch future generations. These solemn promises, charged with the electricity of change, restore bonds frayed by time and trial. As they entwine past with future, a shared commitment to the kingdom emerges, strengthened by the intimate ties of family that stand resilient against the passage of time. In an atmosphere saturated with emotion, King Charles orchestrates his final act upon the grand stage of monarchy not as a relinquishment, but as a gesture of empowerment. The announcement resonates with the aged grandeur of Buckingham Palace, whispering through its halls like a tender farewell. He enfolds the gathered assembly in a moment both heartbreaking and intoxicatingly exhilarating, the close of one era, the dawn of another. With grace undimmed by the spectre of abdication, a king steps down not as a retreat, but as a salute to the future. Words echo through the ancient stone and glass of the palace, a heartfelt message carved into the annals of history. It is a call to a promising future, a baton passed to new hands poised to guide the kingdom with wisdom tempered by the lessons of the past. As this chapter fades into the twilight, a profound transition takes root, marking a new direction on the swirling canvas of the British monarchy. Within the silence that follows, only echoes of resolve remain, a testament to courage amid uncertainty, and the dawning chapter of royal evolution transcending history's grasp.